Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning Biology. So in this video, we start chapter 14. Chapter 14 is a relatively shorter chapter. So from now on, there are two announcements. Alright, before we start. The first one is, I think that some of you is getting used to this kind of method. So please continue, alright? And the other announcement is that from now on, I will try to make the video even shorter, and this will be our type 2 video. So there will be two types. If we have time, I will try to make the full version of it, just like the previous videos, so that if you have some concept you don't understand, you can basically rely on those videos and try to understand the concept again. And the new one, the type 2 videos, will be like this one. We're trying to make it very short and make sure that this will be like pre-study, and you will have done this watching before you come to class. Alright? And in these videos, they will not be very thorough, and I will not go through all the concepts. Instead, I'll only go through the more important ones, so please make sure you have highlight plans next to you and you mark down the importances. Alright? So if there is no problem, we'll get started. Alright? So 14.1. As you know, one of the very common words we use are growth and development. So this is one of the features about the organisms. And in 14.1, we're going to learn about their definition and what exactly does growth and development mean. Alright, so the first one will be about growth. So first of all, we need to know the definition. By definition, it is irreversible, 不可逆轉嘅 increase in size and dry mass of organism. Alright, so two things. One of them is the size. So how do they get larger in size? And the other one is dry mass. So mass is just like a weight. Alright? So dry mass is another concept we'll learn in chapter 14.2. And we need to know how this is brought about. And it's by two processes. One of them is cell division. So after cell division, you will have more cells. And the other one will be cell enlargement. That means they are getting larger in size. Okay, so first of all, we'll talk about the cell division. So how do we carry out cell division? Very easy. It's by mitotic cell division. Okay, so here we're not going to talk about meiosis, meiotic cell division, because mitotic cell division, in this case, we're going to have two daughter cells that are, again, what is the key word? That is, how do we describe them? They are identical to their parent cells. Alright, so somehow, as you can see from this diagram, these cells you see, they are all the same. All the daughter cells are the same as their parent cells. This way, they can increase their cell numbers. And then we're going to talk about cell enlargement. By cell enlargement, that means they're getting larger in size. So how do they get larger in size? Because they make new materials. But we do not use the word make, we use synthesis or synthesize. Alright, synthesis, you have seen this word. Okay, that is when we learn chapter 11, synthesis. It's one of the phase, one of the time slots in the interphase, okay, for the cell to prepare before division. Alright, so other than this synthesizing new materials, okay, so there may also be other methods to increase the size. Alright, so first of all, there may be new materials, just like, for example, we have learned about they make new protein. Alright, so they start making proteins to make different organelles inside the cell. For example, like the mitochondria, like the cytoplasm, like the ER, so on and so forth. Alright, so and then there is another way to increase the size, that is for plants only. And that is by taking in water. As you can see from this diagram, you can see by taking in water, it starts getting larger in size because, first of all, what can you not see here? These three, they are all plant cells. But what you cannot see some structure here. you can start seeing smaller patches of this structure here, and eventually they will become a large central vacuole. Alright, so that's all about this growth. Getting larger in number and larger in size. And then number 2, we're going to learn development. By development, that means definition, irreversible change in the form of organism, and usually they increase in complexity. That means they're getting more and more complex. And this way, they have a process. This is brought by another process called cell differentiation. Okay, try to say it. Cell differentiation. So by differentiation, that means there will be more types of cells, different types of cells. So they will be specialized. Special means unique, right? 好特別嘅. So now they'll be specialized to perform certain function. Okay? And then once they perform certain function, they'll be differentiated into different specified cells or specialized cells. And then they'll start grouping together. They'll start grouping together to form even more complex structures. For example, from the cell to the tissue, alright, 組織啦, and then the organ, 器官, and eventually the system, 一個系統啦. And of course, what after system? There will be the organism. Okay, so here this diagram listed one example that is by, as you can see, different types of cells. And after that, they form different tissues. Okay, and after that, these tissues, they may join together. Okay, they may group together again and form certain organ. So one certain organ, for example, stomach, is not only made up of muscle. Alright, so there will also be some nerve cell, some epithelial cell, different types of cells. Alright, of course, they are all specialized cells. And after that, stomach alone is not enough. We need a digestive system. And eventually, with all these systems, like what system do we have? We have the respiratory system for breathing. We have the digestive system for digesting food. Alright, so different systems will make us the organism. Okay, so that's basically all for this 14.1. Of course, this is a short chapter. That's why this video is so short. But in future, all the videos will also try to be made short. For more questions, please prepare during class, and I'll see if you have any questions in class. Please try to finish these questions. That's all for this video. Bye bye.